This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me, as always, are Erin.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi. I was not paying attention and did not realize we had started.
I feel like it was the same with me. That's why I was like, oh, hello.
Oh, God.
Come on now.
Listen, we've been talking for like,
It's been a
it's
wild
been
ride.
an hour almost.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't catch up enough. Like,
I know.
sometimes we do, and then sometimes like we'll go like 3 weeks, and then we're like, oh, we have not talked to each other.
Yeah.
Or like we send each other TikToks, but we don't like talk about stuff.
What's going
like,
on with
while
us?
we're like,
Yeah.
like we like.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a constant stream of memes. Like,
Yeah,
That's what I was-
we're never not speaking about nonsense.
No, and then I'll like go back in and I miss huge plot points like I did the other day. And I was like, oh, I missed that because there was like so much junk. Like I missed something actually important in the chat.
God.
Oh, God.
Oh, goodness. We're doing this on a different day of the week. We're going to be,
Yeah.
I'm drinking. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
And
We
you're drinking a Natter Days on a Saturday.
Ooh.
We've already been to the brewery and back.
Yeah.
Had some fish and chips.
Yeah.
At
Jealous.
the British place
Love
in
that.
town.
We haven't gone
And,
anywhere.
Well, there's a reason why you haven't gone anywhere. Merp, merp.
It's so annoying. Like,
Tom,
Michael,
how you
I know
feeling?
at the beginning of all of this, we weren't really talking about pandemic or precedented times or COVID. We
The
had a
times
list.
that were
Remember? We had a list of stuff that we would
the
not
new
talk
normal.
about. The new normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
COVID's stupid. Like,
It was so funny. So if you can't tell, Tom tested positive.
yep,
We think he got it at the Rage Against the Machine concert.
positive. I
Yeah,
did.
that's what I said.
Because
Yeah, that
all the
makes
bros
sense.
that went with them have it.
Everyone's got it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when he tested positive, I've not tested positive, but I made him, and I was wearing a mask in the house for days and making him sleep in another bedroom because I refused to miss Lady Gaga on Monday night.
That's true. That's very true.
And now I'm like, now you can give it to me if you want, but not before I see the queen herself.
the queen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that it seems like it's been somewhat mild. I mean, you ran 9 miles today, so
And it felt great.
see? There
Like,
you go.
I don't know, because last Saturday I did 8 miles and I wanted to die
Oh yeah, you said you felt really, really bad.
immediately. And I don't know if it's because of COVID or it's because of the humidity, but today's weather was also phenomenal.
Oh god. It was
Oh
really
yeah.
bad.
Well, let's not talk. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, boy.
I wished.
Okay.
I wished for the hottest, humidest weekend this weekend, and it didn't happen.
Well,
'Cause
I
if I've gotta
appreciated it.
be-
Hey, I appreciated it.
If I can't run, then I want everyone else to be miserable.
Oh, no, that's nice. That's supportive. Isn't your
Yeah.
favorite thing about this podcast the community?
Yeah, it's been great. I love getting ready to go out for a run in the morning. And
No. Do not even go there. I was upset this morning.
Yes, you are.
I was very upset this morning.
Yes.
And you like got annoyed that I was upset.
Well,
And we can cut this out of the podcast, but
Please
that's what
don't.
happened.
Leave it in.
no, please don't.
Leave
And
it in.
then, do you want to tell everyone why? Or are we going to wait for the recap later to talk about why?
No, I mean, it's been a few weeks. I
You're
think I
kind of
even
dealing
posted
with it. Yeah.
at some point. I have a shin splinty type thing that was happening a few weeks ago. So I went to like walking. It was like right before taper anyway. So I was like, oh, let me just walk this week. And then something happened the Saturday before the race where I had to sprint. There was like an emergency situation and I had to sprint to try and go get some help. And as soon as I like took off, my foot, as soon as the heel hit the ground, a pain shut up my shin and I knew it was bad.
Uh-oh.
And I knew that it was a shin, like that any shin, like shin splint type thing that was starting to fade was not good.
Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a shin splint. I confirmed that this week with several doctors. So yeah, I went into the race knowing that it wasn't healed properly yet. And I did know that. And that I said I was just going to walk it because they say that you can walk through a shin splint if it's not that bad. What they don't say is that you can walk 33.575 miles with a shin splint.
I don't think that's what they have in mind. Like when they're like, oh, you can still like walk. Like, I don't think that's what they were thinking about.
They probably mean to the refrigerator. I don't know. I'm
Or
no
like-
doctor.
Down the block and back. Yeah.
So I'm off of it completely for right now, just to make sure that it's not anything detrimental and doesn't turn into a stress fracture, which is what shin splints can turn into.
Oh, I didn't know that. So what causes that? Do they know?
It's an overuse injury generally. It can be bad shoes, bad form, and overuse. Like if your shin splints are mostly caused by picking up your miles too quickly. For some reason, going from like 30 to like 40 miles a month to suddenly doing like 150 to 175 is not recommended.
That's weird. That's weird.
Weird did that happen.
So weird
Weird.
that I like got a shin splint.
Weird.
In this economy?
And then remind me again, like, so did you pick up your miles so quickly because there's a 100-mile race coming up?
Yeah. I was trying to, and I thought that because I was walking a lot of it, like I was
True.
walking like, I'd say running 60, walking 40%. So I did think that because I was walking that such a high percentage that I could get away with it. But I'm here to tell you, friends,
Still
that's
gotta
not
be
true.
careful, yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that I could have progressed, like let it heal a little bit more solidly if I, hadn't had that where I had to sprint. I think it may have even been okay by the race because I'd given it 2 weeks and it wasn't that bad yet. But then when it got bad and then I did the race anyway, I think both of those things combined now put me in a precarious situation. And I am actually listening to people and I'm not running. Like I'm not even walking. I'm not really doing much.
Oh, wow. So are you like just completely stir crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I was cursing the good weather today. Like, of course, it's like
yeah.
the most beautiful weather.
It was beautiful running weather. I'll be
If
honest.
it makes you feel better, like I wore a tank top and shorts and I walked out and I was slightly cold when I started, Erin. I walked out and I said, "Oh,
that doesn't make me
I
feel
could have
better.
worn capris."
No.
And then when I started
No.
running, I was totally
That's
fine.
not
Probably
helping
doesn't
me.
help.
It was
Probably
slightly
doesn't.
chilly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think if you had done less at the race, you probably would have been better off.
Probably. If I hadn't done that last loop.
No, I think if you had done just 4 or 5 loops.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you'd done 4 or 5 less loops.
Yeah.
You could have done about
essentially,
20 miles an ultra.
Yeah, I know. It happens.
20-mile ultra.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's fine. They told me to take at least 10 days off and then do the jump test, which is like you stand on the one leg that the shin splint is on, and then you jump. You do like little hops, and if you can get through like I don't know, 20, 30, 40 of them, then it's fine. Well, one doctor told me 100, and everyone I've talked to, when I sent it to my friends Emily and
That
Megan,
seems like
they're
a
like,
lot.
that seems excessive.
That
And I
seems
was
like a lot.
yes.
Yeah.
So then I Googled it, and then I went to the chiropractor, and she's like, yeah, like maybe like 20. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and even 20 is a
That
lot.
feels
Like when we have to do 20 of something in Orange Theory, I'm like,
That's
this
a lot.
feels excessive. Like it feels like it's going
But
on too long.
it's to make sure that like you do
After
it
time.
because
yeah.
you have to think like if you're running, every single step is that motion. So
Yeah.
they want to make sure that like 20 steps in, 20 of them into it, it doesn't start.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Now, this is going to be like a dumb question, but I'm not sure if I've ever really had shin splints.
I have
Like, how do
never-
you know it's shin
I have.
splints?
So I've
It's like
never had
right
shin
b-
splints, and
It's
this
right below
is
the knee.
so this is not below the knee, and this is why
It's
I
a
wasn't
different
100%
one, yeah.
sure. So if you actually Google shin splints, there's two spots that you can have it, right where he's talking about below the knee, and then right above the ankle where the tendon kind of comes in underneath there, up between your calf and the front, where the calf line almost is.
Gotcha.
So up like where the bone on your ankle is, in between, like behind there, and then up behind your calf.
Okay.
Like between your calf. So that's where this one is. And I wasn't 100% sure because I was looking up other stuff. And then I was like, I think this is a shin splint. Based on like everything I was reading. And then this week I went and confirmed that it's definitely a shin splint.
I thought I had them, and I don't know if it was shin splints or if it was just kind of shin, kind of everything's tight in your calf and shin pain. When I did that 5K like a couple of months ago, that dog 5K where I was like, God, my shins were on fire. I felt like I had shin splints. And then I've had a little bit of weird shin stuff happening when I've been running on the treadmill recently, but then it's gone after I feel like I stretch it out a little bit, like after I move a little bit. Then
so
it
that
goes away.
like when you also read about like what to do, the protocol to like not cure them, but like rehab them, massaging your calves is really big for it. So like it is tight calves will cause shin splints because everything's connected.
Everything's connected. And by the way, speaking of everything's connected, remember your lazy ass diagnosis? Nicole recently got that as well. Because she was having all kinds of hip issues and like all kinds of stuff. And they were like, it's your glutes. So we were talking about it. Yep. Well, it's funny because we were talking about it and she's like, I don't know. I feel like my activity hasn't changed. But last time we were doing a ton of training for Dopey and other races, we were all going to like body pump 2 or 3 times a week. And she's like, training. I do the Peloton, and she's like, sometimes I'll do a strength, but it's not consistent ever.
And Peloton's not really considered strength training for the glutes. No. Like you're not waking up your butt when you're doing it because you're sitting in the seat.
Yep, exactly. So she's like, I have to start doing like strength training again. I have to start doing my squats and lunges. And she's got, her PT has an app. And she follows the exercise, and she has to do like those clam things and like leg all lifts. Of that.
Yeah.
So I told her to send it to me too, just so that I can make sure that I've.
Yeah, I can send you the whole protocol that I'm supposed to do that I don't do. I have been doing the leg lifts and the like toe curls and like calf raises and stuff like that. Just like when I'm standing around right now, because that's supposed to help the shin splints because it's a lot of like calf muscle.
Yeah. So, I need to start getting better about when I was running a ton. I would actually put BioFreeze on my calf before a run, and I haven't been doing that. And when I was out today, I was thinking, oh, this morning I should have put some on my calf just to loosen everything up before I got out there.
Yeah.
Because I start so tight. Like I never feel good until mile 3. So I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm fine.
So when is the 100 mile?
Well, we can get into that in a little bit. I'm not sure if what I'm doing with that yet. We can talk about that. I feel like we dove right into some.
Well, that's fine because we got a lot of stuff. So
yeah, we do have a ton of stuff. I feel like today.
Maybe we should hit the normal stuff and then backtrack into some of the training update again.
Oh, Tom, and you've been Pelotoning recently. Did you want to give an update on your Peloton challenge thing?
Yes. So for the month of August, and we're kind of right in the middle of it now, our friends at Rise and Run reached out and wanted to do another competition. So we came up with a challenge. It is the Will Rise and Peloton Faux Challenge.
Faux?
Is that big Greg?
Big old big balls. So basically it's a Peloton challenge, but if you have like a bike or you could do it running or whatever, it's a couple different things. You're supposed to go for the month of August a minimum of 100 miles, 5 different Disney rides, 5 different types of rides. So like a climb ride, a hit ride, whatever. Take a ride with each cycling instructor,
Oh, that's a lot.
and then
Mhm.
earn at least 20 blue dots, meaning you have activity for the day.
That's a lot.
Spoiler alert, Tim, I know you're listening.
He's killing it.
He is going to
killing
win
it.
this thing easily.
Running
but,
away.
Oh my God.
But there's a lot of people. There's a couple people that are participating, which is awesome.
Yeah, and if it's the 15th, this episode drops, right? So
Yeah.
they still have a whole half of a month to go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So if you
Plenty
haven't
of time.
started, jump on in.
Not
Yeah.
to put her on blast, but I feel like I've been seeing Maria on the Peloton lately. Is she doing this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maria,
How
get
about
in
you
there.
tag?
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, right. Like tag you, Tom. Go tag Maria right now and tell her why aren't you doing this?
Yeah, she should be. She should be.
Look at Diana putting Maria on blast.
Look.
Putting her on blast.
So, anyways, please, if you all want to, it's just a fun challenge. And very happy that Rise and Run reached out.
Who do you know? Who was the person who put the graphic together?
Oh, it wasn't it wanted to focus on their show.
She's not on their show. She just listens to their show.
Oh, okay.
I thought you made it, and you were asking for a compliment. Oh, who did that?
Wonder who did that artwork.
It looks amazing.
Oh, it's so nice.
It is amazing. It does look amazing, but it definitely was not
It
nice.
is.
So dumb.
No, it's
Not me.
it's awesome. I think her name was Happily Skinner After.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a. Actually, I wonder whether we pinned that. There's a tracker that was made where you can put like X off as you're doing all the different challenges.
Yeah.
Which was so cool. Thank you very much for putting that together. And we've mentioned it. You have this will drop on the 15th, so we have still half of the month to get it in. So please join us.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you guys stack so much that like I feel like you can it seemed like there was a ton of instructors, but if you do your like 10-minute warm up and 30-minute ride and 10-minute cool down, I feel like you can just
Really
get a ton
bang
of
those
those
out. Yeah.
instructors, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that how that works? I have no idea.
Yep.
I'm talking as like a total non-Peloton dummy right now.
No, and I would be miserable because I like the same like 4 instructors, and I hate to mix and match them. So I want to do like a Cody warm up and like a Robin ride, and Tom mixes everything up. I'm so weird.
Yeah. That's so funny. Well, good luck, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Have fun.
Michael,
Yeah.
Oh,
do we have any 5-star reviews?
I hope not because I didn't check.
eh,
We don't.
professionals.
We don't have any new ones.
Okay, thank you. Well, don't just remember you can leave a review on whatever things you're allowed to leave reviews on, generally Apple.
Do all
also
the things, like all
Yeah.
the things.
all that stuff. And then sharing the show is obviously awesome on social media or just by word of mouth. That's another good way of doing it.
It's true.
Or just downloading it on people's phones. Just steal their phone, download it, and don't tell them.
That's it.
You're like, what is this? What a delight. Oh, God.
So what are we running for this week?
I was going to say, Erin isn't running. What's going on with you?
Well, I was just going to say, since we sort of already went over my whole thing, I might as well just start by saying that I'm running for one day being a real runner again. Because I'm down again. I feel like I'm just constantly down. I had a little bit of a mental breakdown this morning. That's what Michael was talking about earlier. He was like, I'm going for a run, but I was really sad.
His face.
Like I was like feeling like I don't know. I looked at the weather. I saw it was like 61 degrees out, and I just like didn't want to get out of bed because I'm like, there's no point.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I was like really sad. And he comes in, he's like, I'm gonna go for a run, and then I was sad, and I was making a sad face. He's like, oh, okay, fine, I'm just gonna go. And I was like, well, you can't get mad at me for being sad.
So
Being very compassionate.
quick question though, because you have a lovely new shade of hair color right now. You do.
Girl.
Did you get that after your mopiness this morning? Did you get that
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Yeah. It's like when I was in college and I'd have a situation with a dude and I just dye my hair.
So
I'd be
I'm
like,
breaking
I'm
up
going
with
blonde.
running, and I have pink hair now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yay! It's so cute. I'm so jealous. Now I want to dye mine again.
So I'm not running for my pink hair because I'm not actually running, but I don't know. One day, I hope I can figure out all my ailments and make them all go away.
Hey, you'll get back up again. You always do.
Amen. I am running a lot. I'm running for marathon month in OTF, and I signed up for the ultra, so I have to get 31 points.
You're more than halfway through.
I think it's 1, and I'm more than halfway through. So my goal was to, and I didn't realize I had like 3 extra days tagged on to a 5th week. So I've been trying like crazy. So I've been going 5 days a week and signing up for 2G classes so that I can get the distance. And now I'm like,
nice.
oh, good. Now I have a little extra wiggle room so I don't have to go so intense. So my legs were actually super tired during my run this morning because I've been doing so much.
I bet.
And I'm not used to it. I don't have your stamina. So, but I've just been like marathon monthing, and then I've been doing an August ab challenge. So I've been doing 30 crunches and then 30 sit-ups every day. And I've been throwing in some like runners workouts, and I'm trying to get myself ready because I am not dopey training yet. So
That's right.
this is pre-dopey, and I want to get in the best shape possible. So I've been doing all kinds of stuff. So
oh my gosh.
I've been super motivated.
I was super impressed the other day when you posted your mileage. I was like, it's August 12th and she's already more than halfway through.
Yeah. It's been a lot. And I will say I am cheating a little bit because you're technically not supposed to count your warm up, but I'm moving.
Yeah, no, that counts.
You can have my 0.15.
And
it's
honestly, I feel like you're going to end up being over, so it's going to be fine.
Yeah, you'll be
so they're like, restart your clock. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like,
Well, I'm running for end of August races. We got the Annapolis 10 miler coming up at the end of August. And then the following week, we have the Charles Street 12 miler. And then we're going to be getting into dopey training and a bunch of other races. So,
yeah,
I'm glad today's run went well.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he was.
I just got to do it. I got to do more of it, and I got to do it again next weekend.
He was on the verge of spiraling last Saturday, so
I was impressed that you managed to get 9 miles in post-COVID.
Yeah. So was I. I was like, don't overdo it, because he didn't run with the group because, of course.
Yeah, you didn't want to be near
so
people.
he just went out, and
the amount of distance I gave everybody I came across was amazing.
Yeah.
They were like, why is he...
People were probably like, what?
I was going so far out of my way to stay very, very far away from people.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess the antithesis of my partner here. I am running for progress because I'm actually feel like I'm making progress. Although last Saturday I felt like I didn't make progress, but that day,
so dumb.
I'm not now. I'm just talking about that day. So yeah, no, I've been feeling good. Been getting recovered really well from Loopy Looper, and
I saw you did 20 today.
Yeah, I was gonna do 15, but it was nice out, so I did 20. So I'm trying to do I'm trying to do like 50 to 60 mile weeks leading up to Javelina, and then of course we have labor pains in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
We might not have.
I have labor pains in 3 weeks, which is a 12-hour trail race on a loop.
And if Erin can't run that, you're gonna have something else pains.
You're gonna have a different kind of labor pains.
Just a different type of pain you're gonna be in.
Different labor pains that day.
I will walk one loop and be done.
Yeah, I mean you can still hike a loop or two. So yeah, I'm gonna ease back a little bit before that. Run that, see how it goes. Hopefully have a little more confidence than I did last time. But this week I'm going for 50 miles and 5,000 feet of elevation.
My
climbing.
God.
Nice.
Spoiler alert. Michael killed it last week, and he was super sad at the end of the
I
thing.
did not kill it. We'll talk about it later, but I'm
Yeah.
satisfied.
was-
I can't believe it's too bad. Like the weather wasn't switched.
Uh-uh.
for him.
Ooh, it was
Well, here's
hot.
the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. The thing that he keeps discrediting is that it feels like 100 and something degrees out, and he still did what he did. And he's like, I don't know, I could and he was all sad and mopey about it.
No, I
And
was
he came in,
disappointed in the
The
mistakes
top
I
third
made.
of the race still. So
Yeah, but the mistakes I made were
I'm
inexcusable.
I feel like half this podcast is getting real emo. Like Tom and I are in great
This-
places.
Emo pod.
I have the emo hair for it.
Tonight will be the night.
Michael, I don't think there's anything
Mm.
wrong with feeling like you left something on the table.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
the
saying-
mistakes I made were things that I've made in the past. So that's why I was disappointed.
I'm
I was not disappointed in my effort.
I was going
beyond
to say,
that,
I
so.
feel like you were super down on yourself last week instead of being proud for what you actually accomplished.
Oh, yeah. Immediately post race, I was annoyed. Yeah. But I sat with it and was fine after a bit, you know.
Do we want to talk about it?
Yeah, we should do that first before we get into running sucks.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'll lead into running sucks, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
By,
All right,
by the end of it, it did. Yeah.
So let's recap the Loopy Looper 12-hour endurance race or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They have a 12
it's
and a
by,
24.
Yeah, it's by Endless Endurance.
Yep.
Shout out to them. I will tag them in here as well. They did a really nice job.
It's a fun race.
It's a fun race. It's over at Cooper River Park in New Jersey. There's a paved loop that goes around the river. It's has two bridges because it's obviously a river, but there's
You cross it
you
at either
cross
end.
on either end, and so it makes a 3.75 mile loop. It's a nice paved path. There are some trees, but when the sun gets high, there's no shade.
Yeah.
Um,
You're getting rocked with the sun.
and it's paved, so it's
a pound.
Yeah, it's hard. But there's a track, there was an old track
It's
there.
a brand
It's
new
brand
track now.
new,
It's beautiful.
literally just reopened maybe a month ago.
Yeah, if that.
Where it used to be some gravel, a gravel
Old gravel track.
track. So we were surprised that they were still holding it in the same location, and they did.
Mm.
They let us even put our tents there.
Oh, wow.
They
couldn't stake
required
them
no
down or anything,
stakes yet to bring weight because it's all brand new sod. We were
Yeah.
shocked that they let us be there. But it was really nice. You come off of the loop and onto the track, and the track is where the start and finish was.
Mm.
And then you could set up tents for your crew and yourselves so that as you're coming around each time, you can stop at your tent. They also had a full aid station that had water and Gatorade and Noon and Tailwind and cookies and some other bananas and oranges and some other
fun.
stuff. They also had kids out there with squirt guns.
Oh, yeah. The big one.
Oh, that's
Nice.
cute.
Giant super soakers to soak
I
people.
love that.
So that was cute.
There was a water stop about a little more than halfway around,
Yeah.
which
Mhm.
was good because actually I liked where it was. It was there was only a mile and 3/4 left when you got to it.
Yeah.
So it was slightly less than the way to it.
Mhm.
So it was always a little,
And it was
refreshing.
it was well stocked with ice the whole time we
Yeah.
were out there.
Oh, great.
I mean, I don't know about
I loaded
what
up
happened
every time.
afterwards after the 12-hour race, but during the 12-hour race, it was fully stocked with ice every single time. Every
Oh, wow.
single girl who was coming around because they kept trying to shovel ice because everyone was putting it in their sports bras because it was just hot.
Yeah.
People were putting it in bandanas around their necks, so
Okay. Speaking of putting ice places, Michael,
Yeah.
did you get
No.
your design made? What happened with that?
No, so there was too much going on, so we couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
the week leading up to it.
But what I did do was take one of my buffs and tie off the end of it so that it made a giant pouch.
Oh.
and I would fill it with ice each half a loop.
And
Yeah.
then
And I
what?
would-
Stuck it down your pants? What happened?
Actually, I would take handfuls of ice and drop them down my pants,
There you go.
which
Yeah.
if the ice landed in the wrong spot was
Look, the undercarriage is the AC
or the-
of the body.
or the
Like
right
it's
spot.
just
Yeah.
yeah. No, there was times where it was like, ooh, wait, I need to readjust that ice cube. But but in general, it was a great, feeling.
Yeah.
And then I would use the pouch and put it on like the back of my neck or on my chest, like to cool my core.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but the one problem I ran into is like after about a marathon, my feet were soaked
Oh.
from the ice running down my body.
Yeah.
And I changed my shoes at that point and my socks because
Gotcha.
I was
'Cause
like,
you
wow,
could rub. Yeah, you don't want to.
Well,
Well, it's
no,
a good thing
I
you
was fine
thought
'cause
to
my
like
toes
bring
were fine,
extra
but-
like socks and stuff.
yeah,
That's the thing about the loop races that's sort of nice is that when you set up your tent area, I mean, like Megan had like 2 coolers. We brought
Yeah.
a cooler. We
Yeah.
had like 7 bags full of like chips and like
All kinds of stuff.
the peanut butter and jelly Uncrustables and like watermelon and like all kinds of like stuff
God,
that we
watermelon
barely
is the
even
perfect food.
we didn't even have to go to the aid station ourselves because we had basically packed everything that we could
The
have
only aid
possibly needed or
station-
wanted.
I only used the aid station on the other side,
Same.
the water stop, because we had all of our stuff.
Yeah,
at
I
our
went to
tent.
the other station and got a Fig Newton at one point, and that was about it.
Yeah, and we were literally set up on the way right to the
Start finish.
start finish, or where you got to go through each time to track your
Gotcha.
laps.
Yeah.
So we were right
The
there.
timing mat.
Yeah, timing mat.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to like even step off. We were literally right on the
Make sure
course.
you-
So that was super helpful. Now, what
Alright.
would have been really helpful is if I wasn't an idiot and actually took the salt pills every freaking lap and didn't take them every other lap. And then after a marathon, I wasn't feeling like my calves weren't completely gone. And then, so I was like, I'll walk a lap or 2. And then instead of pounding a couple salt tabs and some other stuff, I stupidly just stopped taking stuff because I was in like a mental fog because it was like 95 degrees out. And I was like, I'll just walk for a bit and I'll be fine. And it was just that was where I was annoyed. So first,
Well,
the
why not-
marathon.
I mean, I
went
feel
well.
like you didn't really recap your like the beginning of your race. You just went to like
All right, the beginning,
You
I
did
put a little.
directly to misery. Like it's like let me take you on the direct train to misery.
All right, let's talk about. All right, so the beginning was nice. Actually felt pretty good for about the first 23, 24 miles.
Shockingly, it wasn't like so hot at the beginning.
Yeah,
it
it
was
took
That's
a
actually
little
not
while.
surprising because when we ran last weekend,
It
when I
took a little
first got
longer to
out there,
heat
I
up,
was
right?
like, "Oh, it's actually not that bad,"
Yeah.
and then it got real hot real quick.
Well,
Yeah.
that was because like the day before it was like 100 degrees. So it was like
Yeah.
92. So it was like, oh, you know what? This isn't that awful.
Oh, just
Oh,
like
just
the
like
Grand
Grand
Canyon.
I don't
Canyon.
even think it was. I was not 92. It actually started in the low 80s that day.
Yeah, well, in the morning.
Which is
it's
why,
7 in the morning.
I mean,
yeah.
in the morning it was in the 70s, and we weren't really sure what to expect. And when you see 78, you're like, "Oh God, that's so hot already." But it wasn't as humid that day
as it was
in the
day
beginning
before,
of the
yeah.
day as it was the day before. So I feel like we were almost tricked into like, "Oh, it's not that bad." Kind of like the Grand Canyon, only much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my mistakes weren't for that. It was just
know.
I miscalculated on what I should have taken in. And I should have just
But
taken
you've never
more.
really been great at the salt thing. Like I've
Yeah.
always pushed you to take salt.
I've been bad at it, and I continued to be bad at it.
All right,
and-
can I ask a dumb question
Mm-hmm.
that I should know the answer to? Why salt? I know
Well,
when you
it's a-
sweat, you lose
It's
salt.
electrolyte.
Salt.
They're
Yeah.
electrolyte. They're called salt tabs, but they actually are electrolyte pills. So they have chews and they have like the ones you can swallow. I personally don't like to chew the salt ones because they taste weird. So I buy the salt tab pills, but they have magnesium, potassium, calcium, and sodium. So it's it's a well balanced electrolyte. So instead of taking Noon or Gatorade or
or
any of those
whatever,
things. It's
yeah.
a much faster way of getting your electrolytes. So when it's that hot out and you're losing them that quickly, sometimes Gatorade and Noon aren't enough to be able to like replenish it as quickly as you're losing it. And you can't take in that much liquid because taking in that much liquid can also bloat you. Like you got other problems to deal with. So if you take a salt tab, sometimes that's instant electrolytes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
People take them a lot of times when they're cramping, but but you have to do it early enough. So if you feel like, ooh, I might start to cramp, I should take
That
one.
was
I remember running
my
with Matt
mistake.
Algier one time, and we kept yelling at him to take salt tabs. And like Michael, he was refusing. We're like, you feel like trash because you're not taking anything.
We at Bird in Hand, when I was running with Brittany one time, she had salt tabs and we came across somebody who was cramping really bad and she had salt tabs and gave them to him. And like, we saw him again and he was like, those things saved my life because his calf was cramping so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just miscalculated. I should have taken way more. Lesson learned.
For the for the temperatures and how much you're losing it that quickly. I mean, you should really be taking them once an hour.
Yeah. So you figure a loop was
for a loop.
Yeah, in the beginning the loop was about 48 minutes for me. So
every loop, I had left them out on the top of the cooler so that everyone, because we had Megan with us also, so that everyone could stop and take a salt tab. I think I even said it. I said, everyone take a salt tab every loop.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Stupid.
It's like,
beginning of the race went well.
I will not.
Yeah. That was good. I was pretty steady for a long time. And then my calves just went. So I did just keep walking though.
I will say the photos from that day brought me, I know you were in misery, but they brought me a lot of joy because they were so, like, how miserable you were, like, just translated onto the screen so well. Like, it was just hysterical.
God, there's the picture
there's a
of me
couple of
crossing the finish line.
That one is my favorite. That one's my favorite.
I can't even believe he posted that picture.
I laughed out loud when I saw it.
Oh my God. At one point I did like after about 26 miles or so, 27, whatever it was, I took like a 20-minute break and drank a full Gatorade and just like sat down for a few minutes just to reset. Because I was like, I wasn't going to hit my goal or anything, but I was like, I want to keep going. So let me just take a few minutes and kind of reset. So we just kept walking. I think we met up for the last lap.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started out, I was going to walk most of it. My leg wasn't bothering me as much. So I kind of like, I'd like jog,
about
like a quarter mile and then walk a quarter mile and then jog a quarter mile. And that's sort of how I started my loops. I was still not going fast because I was keeping somewhere around like a 13.5 to 14 minute pace doing that. So it's not like I was like, my run intervals were like fast. And I was kind of coming in under 15, or I was coming in like just about an hour under, just under an hour every loop. So somewhere like along, I think it was the third loop. Michelle Kay, who was down there, Crazy Runner Michelle.
She was there. Yeah.
She was there to say hi and cheer for a little bit in the morning to see people she knew that were running it. She had some other friends in too, so we talked to her for a little while. And then she was going to do a bike ride because she was doing the AC Tri the next day. So she had to bike ride and then she was going to run a little bit. And I happened to see her as I was starting one of my loops. And so her and I started chatting and we, she ended up running the whole loop, which was not her intention. She was not supposed to run 3.75 miles. She was planning to run for like 20 minutes and that was it. And she ended up with me on the entire loop, which was nice. I got to chat with her for a little bit.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned that if you do like 10 loops, you get like this little extra skull at the bottom. And we were talking about like my walk pace has gotten a lot faster. She's like, oh, well, if you can just keep walking like 15 to 16 minute miles, you could probably get 10 loops in. I was like, oh, probably. So then I had 10 loops in my head. So I was like, oh, well, if I get to like, if I keep the pace that I'm keeping and I can do 5 loops in 5 hours, then that gives me 7 hours to do the same thing again. So it's an extra 2 hours. I could probably do that.
And wait, what pace did you have to go to get that?
If I by the time I got to, if I completed 5 loops in 5 hours and it gave me 7 hours, then it was like 22-minute miles.
Okay.
I was like, I could probably do that.
Yep, that's
That felt doable.
22-minute mile isn't bad because that's usually what I walk when I walk the dog and he's meandering.
Yeah, so I figured I could meander
that's
at that pace.
Yeah, that's like a slow.
Yeah. And I figured if I could do like loops 6 and 7, even if it was over an hour, I could probably still like do those at like a 17, 18-minute pace and then slow down. And that would give me even more time.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the 6th mile is when it got really hot.
Yeah.
And I just like, I was feeling not nauseous, but like that, like,
yeah.
I don't need it wasn't like a full nausea type feeling. It was just like like overheated and
just
like
when you're overheated, you're miserable.
Was like working. And so all of a sudden my saunter went to like a 20-minute mile at that point without intending to, because I was planning to try and keep like a 16-minute mile still at that point. So I slowed down pretty quick, and by loop 7 I met some people. Oh, from On the Run. I met some friends who have a podcast called On the Runs. Diana, you'll really enjoy it because On the Runs is exactly what you think it means.
Oh.
On the Runs. They talk about
Do they
poop.
talk about anxiety they have when they can't PRP?
And
then it throws them into a spiral like it does
they
me?
have a thing called Code Brown.
Oh, yep.
Oh.
So I met Rachel and Erica along the way. Erica had a sparkle skirt on, which is how I met her, because she had a sparkle athletic skirt on, and she saw my skirt and she was like, "Oh, I love your skirt." And I said, "Oh, I have a skirt for every single loop." So I also changed my skirts every loop.
I know, you look so freaking cute.
And so I would go and like see her every loop so that she could see my new skirt.
Yes.
And so she was pacing her friend and I saw them on a loop. And so we were walking and they were kind of meandering. So my pace just slowed quickly. And then my feet hurt and everything just kind of went downhill. My shins started aching a lot. That mile went to like, there was like a 26-minute mile. I was watching the dreams of 10 loops fly away. I got to loop 8 and I was just miserable. I did not want to go out again. That was when Kurt and Steve showed up. Megan's friends, well, our friends too, from Pineland Striders, showed up and they gave me a beer. And then and then I put on my ankle brace and calf sleeve and my UFOs. And I was like, everyone's like, just take your beer and you'll be fine. It's like, okay.
So we put it in a water bottle.
So I took my beer in a water bottle.
As long as it's not on your hip, you should be fine.
It wasn't. It was in my hand. Okay. Turns out that I was also wearing shoes that I'd only owned for like 4 weeks. And I hadn't actually run more than a few miles in them because I'd mostly walked in them.
See, and even I think like 4 weeks is an exaggeration because I feel like it was less than that. I felt like you had just gotten those.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Maybe
it was 2 weeks.
It wasn't very long.
I don't know. It wasn't long enough. I'll tell you that.
I wore shoes I bought the day before for half of it.
Gosh.
Oh my God. It's just the tone that gets me. It's the
I just would like to say, he just told Baltimore on Melanie that she should wear her brand new shoes for her 20-miler tomorrow. And I texted her and was like, are you really going to listen to advice about shoes from Michael?
Hopefully she does.
I'd like to hear from her about how that goes.
I think it's going to go
Baltimore
fine.
on, let us know.
I think it's going to go fine.
So we went for that final loop. I had those new shoes. Turns out I had a blister underneath my foot that I wasn't aware of
that was
until I put my UFOs on, and it was rubbing like right. It's like it was like right between my big toe and my like right where the thong part of the sandal goes is where the blister was.
Oh God.
Didn't know it. Got bigger and bigger and bigger as we walked the loop.
Yeah.
Had no squirrel's nut butter on us. Had nothing to lube
We
it
should
with.
have
Had
put
nothing
something
to
in
cover
our
it
pockets,
with.
Yeah.
It was very painful. It got very bad. That final loop was just Michael and I looking at each other constantly going, why do we do this? This is stupid.
I can't believe it's just the blister on the bottom of the foot and then putting the UFOs on. Oh, it's just...
But I didn't
feel
know
like
it was
because-
there.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, because your feet are so slidey and flip flops. Like, I always just feel like it's way 1,000 times worse.
That may have made it worse, actually. Yeah.
Well, for the blister,
yeah.
it definitely did. But I didn't know that there was a blister there because, you know, when you're like, when you don't know, like because there's also a blister on the back of my foot, but like you don't notice it because it's just like you can feel like maybe something's bothering you, but you don't realize how bad it is. It's like when you chafe, you don't necessarily feel how bad
you
it
get in
is.
the shower.
Yeah, until it's like bad. And that's sort of what happened. So
we finished.
We did.
You did what? 30?
33.775.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think I did 41 and change. Whatever it was. 41.
41.25.
Which was definitely disappointing. But so shout out to some other people. Megan, of course, who was with us. She did officially 51.
Heartbreaking.
Wow.
But she ran she came in and missed her final lap by 10 seconds finishing.
No, it was a little more than that. It was a minute and 10 seconds.
Minute and 10
yeah,
seconds.
It was a minute and 10 seconds.
And she was running like fast.
9:20s.
Like for the whole lap try and get to 55.
We had finished when she was going out for her other lap,
Final
and we were
lap.
like, there's no way she's going back out. I don't think so. She's not going to have enough time. And then our friend Kurt, and I said, well, Kurt and Steve might be able to push her because at that point, they were pacing her. I was like, they might be able to push her. And so I guess Kurt had been like, you just go. So Kurt came in, got some stuff, and then was going to sprint to catch up with her. We just see her flying in. I looked at the clock and I was like, she has X amount of time. I did the calculation. I'm like, she has to do 9:20s this mile. Like that's the only way she's making it is if she does like 9:20s.
Yeah.
And I looked and I was like, I don't know if she has that kind of, she's badass. She has it in her. I just, at this mileage, I'm not sure what she could do.
Yeah.
And we were all watching the clock, and because somebody else asked where she was, and we were looking at the clock, and we're like, she has like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're watching the clock, and we got down to like 1:30, and we're like, if we can't see her right now, she's not making it.
Yeah. Because Gags, who like local Philly running guy, he running times with Gags. He does a podcast also. It's actually very good. A lot of interviews and stuff. But he was asking,
Where Megan was.
Where she was. Because he had just finished and won.
Mm-hmm. He won.
And we were like, oh, we
so all of
don't
us are
see
just,
her around the corner.
Yeah.
So we were like, I don't think she's, I don't know.
Yeah, we were all staring at the clock.
Like,
Oh.
And then, I mean, good
She's
for
so
her.
badass.
She came around the corner and she knew it.
and
She could see it, and she still sprinted as fast as she could to the end, knowing there was no way she was making it.
Yeah.
And
course she did.
she actually has like a pretty epic finish picture of her crossing the finish line.
Look, the sun never sits on a badass.
So
So she finished strong. Gags, who was there next to us, he finished with 71 miles for the 12 hours.
yeah, Vanessa, our
Fourth
favorite,
straight win. Vanessa
one of our
was doing
favorite race
24,
directors from Beast
Coast
Productions. She
and Beast Pacing.
Yeah. She wanted 100 miles in 24 hours. We saw her in the morning. She's like, I've only done it once in all of her 100 milers. And she's like, I don't know. It's hot. I don't know if I can do this. Man, she lapped me so many times. I can't. Every single time she went by, I'm like, there you are again.
Oh.
She was running strong.
Yeah.
all
So,
day.
and she finished. She got her 24 hours. She's the only female that got 100
She finished-
miles.
Yeah, she finished third with 101 miles.
Yeah. Second place was another Philly local who got like 90-ish miles.
Yeah.
She's
She finished third overall total.
Yeah. Vanessa finished
yeah.
third overall. Yeah.
And then
That's
Jack Witzig
so-
was there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he has never run that kind of distance before, or that kind of
He did the
he did the-
24.
He did the Loopy Looper 8-hour, or Frosty Looper 8-hour back in December. But he's never done anything like a 24 or like a major ultra. So he's like, I just want
Yeah.
to see what I can do. And he ended up with 78
miles.
78 miles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible. I'm
he
so
was,
impressed with everybody.
Yeah.
I had walked a good portion with him of one lap. He was moving. Yeah, he was walking pretty fast during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a little struggles in the heat, and he was like just
Yeah.
walking it out. He's like, I have all night, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah. And when I chatted with him, he said that he was starting to have a little ankle pain. And he just decided that it wasn't worth being out.
Injured.
So he's like, I did what I could do, and that was the end of my race.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
finished, I don't remember at what hour, but he called it himself. He didn't walk to the 24-hour mark.
Yeah, it's smart though. You gotta be smart.
So yeah.
I cannot believe you guys in these distances. You ultra runners
Well-
amaze me. I can't.
I'll just say that it sounded like an awesome time, and I really appreciate you guys talking me out of doing that one.
Be happy that you did not.
I mean, it was so hot. It was
hot.
brutal.
Yeah,
And then, of course, the race director today posts.
it was 82 degrees
Posts
today.
on
Yeah.
his stories today, like 1 week later, 82 degrees, and I was like, "That's
It
so
was
mean."
delightful.
And
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
laughed back at me.
I ran part of that loop this morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's like so nice." It was like a nice breeze. It was
Oh my
like 70
God.
degrees.
Oh yeah,
I
it was
like-
like breezy. It was really nice today.
Whatever,
it was.
everyone.
I was like, "What the hell?"
I know.
was like,
Megan
"Oh,
and I
man."
said the same thing this morning. We're like, "Why is it so beautiful today? I don't understand."
I don't know. The heat though makes it more epic. You know,
That's true.
Makes
when
it
you do it, gives you that
Yeah.
extra challenge.
You accomplish a little
gives
bit
you
more.
more to talk about.
Yeah.
Better stories. But in the end, I mean, I will say there were multiple times we were like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to ever do this again. I don't know what's wrong with us. And I think that I said that like 800 times. And then it's like 2 days later, I'm like, all right, I guess what's next? Like, what is wrong with us?
Well, Erin, sometimes running sucks.
Yes, a lot.
All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah, running sucks.
Running does suck.
Running sucks. So we asked everyone in the community to give us some feedback and tell us why running sucks and why we still do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even though it sucks.
do you have a reason, Tom? Why do you still do it?
I have several reasons. I think the biggest reason is it's literally the only thing I've stuck with.
Mm.
And I'm motivated to do it, and I prioritize it. But just like some of the feedback that we got, it's just you and your brain out there sometimes. So it's a lot of quiet time. It's a lot of time to think. It's a lot of time to process things and one-sided arguments with people and say the perfect thing in your head. Like, I make up all kinds of scenarios. I don't know. I feel like it's good for your mental health.
It is good for your mental health.
Physical health too. Absolutely. I haven't thrown my back out in 5 years. And I used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, I mean, there are physical benefits to running,
This
but
is true.
I think mentally it's a really good space.
I think it's because it still challenges me after all of this time, mentally and physically. Like you're always like, even now, knowing that I've done greater distances and done tougher things, like now in where I am in this moment, other things are harder and shorter distances are harder, but no matter what, it's still so no matter where I am in the journey, it's either teaching me that I can do harder things than I ever thought I could, like when I could run 55 miles, or it's teaching me how to overcome the tough moments when I'm not in a great place. And I think that's sort of refreshing in itself. Like when you come out of like a bad place and you're like, I can still do this and I still am tougher than what I thought I was.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Plus friends. There's always the friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's always one of my top reasons.
That's my top reason, is for the social aspect. And the more I run, I used to be definitely one of those people that like to just get out there and run by themselves a lot. And when I was out doing 9 miles today, I was lonely. I was thinking, I cannot wait till my friends get back from their vacation. So I have my running buddies back on the weekend. So this time this time for dopey training, I'm definitely going to rely on my friends a lot more, where last time I went through it, I felt like I was doing a lot of it alone. Not because I had to, but because, I don't know, I wanted to be, and I'm not there
you're
anymore.
just in a different mental space.
Yeah, so now I just want to chit-chat and enjoy the ride, not stress out. I don't know. I don't like being out there alone in my thoughts. I was singing along to my music, and it's like, it's scary in here. I can't be in here alone.
I will say friends is a big thing, because just the sheer volume of people that we've met through this sport is amazing.
That's true.
You know, some people we know we're a little bit closer to than others, but like, man, the community around this is amazing.
Yeah. Well, it keeps everyone together. Like our friends, Andrew and Angie, who were great friends here. I worked with Andrew for a lot of years, and then they moved back to Chicago, and we'd kind of see each other when we, they would come back here, and we saw them once we were in Chicago just by happenstance. But we're not going to like make trips necessarily to see each other. But it's nice because they're also in the running community. Now we'll see them at races. So more than I would be, it wouldn't be like a yearly trip for me to go to Chicago. But if we're meeting up, I can see them a couple times a year now.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I definitely, I always talk about the community, and I even posted yesterday with like pictures from the race of friends shouting everyone out that we saw, because, it's like when you're out on a race course and you just get to see all the familiar faces and all these people who are like cheering you on, and people, like there's something extra like community based and special about that helps keep you going and keep you in the game when you're having a tough moment. So what about you, Michael? I think you're the only one who hasn't answered that question.
God, why do you run in all of those miles? All of them.
It's, for me, it's such a big social butterfly that it's about people, obviously.
He loves being really close to people in corrals.
I mean, the people are part of it. I think for me, I just enjoy being out there, moving, and like Tom said, it's the thing that I stuck with.
Yeah.
So I think that helps too.
I will say, sorry.
No, it's the thing I can be consistent with, is what it is.
There is something about running that when you're out there and you're like, you see someone coming up on you and you kind of lock eyes, not every time, but a lot of times. And like, you have a shared understanding of how much this can suck.
It's shared misery.
Right. And then you give a nod or you give a wave. Like, trust me, I can only imagine what I look like when I'm ambling down the trail.
Stop.
And I see like some superhero coming at me, like no headphones, no shirt. They're not going to be out there as long as I am. And they're going fast, right? But at no time do they ever look at me like, why are you out here?
Yeah.
Right? They always look at you, and I get a thumbs up a lot of times. And people, because you understand that it's you against the pavement or you against the trail, And I feel like that shared understanding amongst runners it's a real thing. It's a real tangible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're always so mad when they see me because I aggressively say good morning to everyone.
Michael would love that.
Like, I feel like I have to say good morning to everyone. And then I get like, I don't hide that I'm annoyed when they don't say anything back. Like, I'm like I give them like
You're
a
like,
look.
Hello. I just said hello to you. Michael would absolutely hate running by you.
Yep.
Uh,
Like, say hello. We're all out here together in this misery.
Well, let's see what other people had to say.
Yep.
All right. So let's get into some feedback. So Melissa says, because without the routine, I'm a monster. And friends get me through the hard runs. Without our runs, I would miss my running buddies. Yep, there it
See?
is.
There it
Yeah.
is.
And the I'm the monster bit. Tom will sometimes say to me, I think you need to go for a run.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is why Michael's probably very upset right now because I can't do that. And so he's like, she is going to be a monster for a while.
Yep.
Michael, just remember, you've done nothing wrong.
Suze says, knowing that if I don't do something, the probability of me not finishing a race or injuring myself is quite great. I think someone poisoned the water hole. That's all I can think of.
Amen.
Rebecca Tebow, because I like food. That's this very
Yes.
solid reason to
Amen.
continue.
I agree. Yes.
All right. KJ Run Disney states that I want to run my first Run Disney race one day.
We'll see
Yeah.
you there.
That's a
Keep
good reason
going.
to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
There's shiny medals and running through the castle.
We have Drag to Disney. It's helped me lose weight and be healthier. It's also a hobby I get to do with my wife, which is a huge win.
Yes, he was at Springtime Surprise doing his first challenge, and now he's addicted.
Yes.
That's how it happens.
EcoFit 13, sanity, great reason.
good
Beer,
one.
better reason. Cool scenic races and seeing new places. Those are all fantastic
Yeah.
reasons.
That is a good reason. Tiki Tinkerbell. I was the slowest runner in PE in school, so maybe it's revenge on all my evil PE teachers.
That's a great one.
Oh, spite. I'm
Fair
surprised that
reasoning.
wasn't on Michael's list.
Spite is a great reason to keep running.
Spite's a great reason to do anything.
I'm sorry. Really quickly, can I insert that Ben from Ben and Lacey messaged me
yes.
on Facebook the other day because you're talking about spite, which reminds me of the Grand Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard from Ben of Lacey. He just sent me a picture of the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Because they were at the Grand Canyon again.
I love it. I love it.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you. We talk about you all the time. He's like, you guys are like our favorite story.
I love it.
What were they
I
doing
love
there?
it.
Picking up strays?
Were they?
Yeah, they just picked up some other old idiots that were on.
Oh God. Okay. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry
God.
to insert
I
that.
love
just
that.
thought it
I
was
love
funny.
that.
No, that's great. Disney Run Repeat, because even though it sucks sometimes, it's still the best part of our day.
And then this might be my favorite response from Boston Cookie. I have no clue.
No clue why you run.
I like that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh gosh. Meredith says for that once in a blue moon amazing run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. You can go weeks and have just terrible, terrible runs and you're like, this is it. I'm not doing it anymore. And then have one fantastic run and you're like, I'm doing this until the day I die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that Rocky moment where you're like, and you're like cheering and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever done. I don't know why I ever think it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had that
that's
today.
pretty much it. No, yeah, Tom
Yes,
had it today. Yeah.
Exactly.
Lisa knits and trains. Running does not try to fix my problems, but often helps solve them.
Oh.
Sometimes I need to run so I don't kill people. Sometimes I need to run to figure things out.
Oh.
Yeah.
All fair reasons.
Yeah. That's like Tom.
Mad Girl 2. Sometimes that's the only time I get to focus on me and process my problems.
Oh, yeah.
See? Yeah,
Amen.
it's that time alone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what
Time
Miles
with your
and
thoughts.
Crown says. She says, time to myself.
Cat runs 57. Keep the crazy away.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah.
I have that shirt that says runs to burn off the crazy. So yeah, get that.
Raph, who we just did a Inside Runner studio with, as a matter of
coming
fact.
up. Yeah.
It's like eating your vegetables. And also, apparently, the picture of whatever you guys posted he said it's a very good likeness of me.
I don't
It was
remember
that
what photo we
eBibs. It
used.
was that eBibs post.
It
Oh,
was
it's
an
the
eBibs.
eBibs
Yeah.
one. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Dawn, be joyful.
Oh, Don's so great.
And Dawn, amen to this. Because I know I'll always feel better after, and that after run chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm. Chalky
Okay.
milk. Nikki runs fit. It started as a fun Disney thing my sister conned me into doing. Then I was going to get healthy after my granddaughter was born. It helps me quit smoking. Then it's what got me through the COVID times. Now for me, it's my time to prove myself that I can do hard things, to spend time with the amazing group of humans I've met. Oh, that was a really nice one.
That's all the things.
I
It's
know.
true.
Good one. It must be cold running in Siberia for her. Though.
Duh.
Duh.
You'll get that at the
You'll
end
get
of the
that
show.
when I've texted you about what that means. Positively Polly says so true, and that was to our actual meme where I said running sucks. I think I said me running sucks. Also me. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. to run. Is what I wrote on there.
Oh man. Trails, hills, and cute animals. I have back problems at the moment, so I can't run. I know it's
Aw.
temporary. I have to be patient. Hopefully next week I can start again.
Oh,
Good luck. Our friend Anna runs on coffee.
it's weird. It just says loofahs here.
She runs for loofahs?
Yeah, just loofahs.
runs-
Many
Yeah.
colors of loofahs.
Because she loofahs us.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anna runs on coffee says, I run because running is stupid, but so am I. That's
And loofahs.
I mean,
Also,
that's-
and yeah,
And loofahs.
self-awareness is important.
Oh, goodness. Jennifer Fink, having personal alone time. Alone time is a big
Yeah.
thing here.
yeah.
yes.
Run Disnerd, who, let me just tell you, I messaged him the other day and I realized that I'm dumb and I should have always been able to remember his name because his name is literally Run Disney,
Yes.
just the shorter version of it. And like, I don't know why my brain couldn't compute that. Anyway,
Wait, what?
his name is basically Run Diz Nerd because he's a Run Disney nerd.
Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes, but I'm saying like my brain for some reason turned that around. I know. Listen, I told him that I felt stupid for even admitting it.
This
and
is
here
like
I
the
am
medal
publicly
medallion
admitting it.
moment right
Yes,
now.
I just like I don't know why my brain just died when it came to his
Oh,
name,
God.
but I have finally figured it out.
Oh my god.
Run this nerd. When it gets tough, I say what Des Linden does, nails, as in be tough as nails. Also, we run so the vegans aren't the only ones bragging at parties.
That's true. That's true.
I feel that.
Oh man. Michelle K, because the sucky times make for some great stories. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true.
Mhm.
Melissa J. Melly, mental health or whatever.
Eh, I guess I'm out here.
Oh gosh.
And then our new friends at On the Runs, they said
Mhm.
for the stories.
Yep,
Yep.
fair. That's a
It's
good
true.
one.
Yeah.
That's true.
Angie says it feels good to get past the suck.
That's true.
See, that's sort of
That's very
the
true.
mental hurdle.
Rachel likes to run to call ourselves runners. It's a
Oh.
very good reason.
Very simple.
It's very simple, but no, like it gives you like almost like some kind of identity for
Yeah.
yourself, and other people, and you find your people.
Main Street Miles Meg runs for the peace of mind and time with nature. Also, Disney medals and Panchito character stops.
Oh, I love him.
Oh,
I was really sad I didn't stop for him when I saw him at Hollywood Studios at springtime. Fun size Jen Hall, J Hall. I run because I enjoy it. You have to find joy, otherwise it's a waste of the mental energy. I try to make my routes as exciting as possible and to change it up when possible.
yeah.
See, there you
Yeah,
go.
she does run a lot of different places.
She runs
Yeah,
a ton of
she
different
does.
places, and she was just
Yeah.
messaging us about doing a 7-mile run with her. So once that's on our
Oh, cool.
schedule for Dopey,
Yeah.
we're going to meet up and do that.
Nice.
Also, shout out to her.
Cool.
She just did a Ragnar.
A
Yeah.
Ragnarok?
No, a Ragnar. Not a Ragnarok.
Tim says doing hard things makes life easier.
That's true, actually.
See?
It does
Yeah,
give you
gives you a
perspective at
on
times.
life.
Tim, we also just re-recorded an Inside the
Yeah.
Runner studio with
I-
because of a issue previously. Amy Chase, probably because I get bullied into signing up for races.
yeah,
Question
I
mark?
mean, that's fair. That's so fair.
So as you can see, there's a million different reasons why people run, even though it sucks.
Yep.
But there's a lot of commonality in all these answers.
Yep. We
Yep.
we knew we needed to talk about this today because of the suck that was going to happen at their long race, and the suck that people are currently feeling training for their fall races.
Yeah. I feel like we're right in the thick of that,
Yeah.
where it's like, gosh,
Everyone I know is training for
miles
something.
are getting
Yeah.
up. Yeah, the miles are ticking up now. and
was
you're just-
on
the
for a
heat was,
while.
like there was a heat wave everywhere, and just makes you question all of your life decisions that led you to this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's people are posting that meme again that I love. That's like, stop asking me what I'm doing this weekend. I'm running. I'm running every weekend from now until eternity. Like, I'm running this weekend. I'm running next weekend. I'm running forever. Like,
Sure feels like it.
Yeah.
For all of you.
mm-hmm.
Then there's some of us that may never run again.
You'll
No,
be
you'll be
back.
That's fine too.
Oh my
Look
You'll
at
god.
Jack
be
back there.
At least you're not
looking like a
dramatic
little
about
sexy-
it. I
sex kid.
appreciate that.
At least you're not dramatic about it.
Diana's talking about Jack being sexy behind
yeah.
behind us right now.
Jack cleaning
As
his
he's,
crotch.
Jack was like, paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Oh, so great.
Well, thank you everyone for your feedback.
Yes.
We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
this is
There's a
great.
ton of people on this list. Some of them we've not heard from before.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
we got some new listeners like Nikki Russia. It was really great hearing from her.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
that's a long way to send that
yeah.
feedback.
We have a
Hey.
ton of people who haven't done an Inside the Runner studio on this list too. If anyone is interested,
Yeah, hit us up.
hit us up. I mean, we still have some people who've reached out to us saying that they're interested. So we're not desperate yet, but I would love to get some of these people that we haven't heard from
Yeah.
much on too.
I get
Absolutely.
so
If you're
excited every
listening.
time we record them because
I
I
know.
feel like I just see random handles all the time, and it's good to talk to
Yeah.
people.
Get to know them a little. It's
Mhm.
fun.
Find people you can stalk, like Michael from Disnerd.
Oh yeah, I fell immediately into his DMs.
God,
Tom's
can-
like, I'm
can-
gonna wait a couple weeks,
Can
and
you
then I
all
was like,
just
I
back
slid
off
immediately.
of Run Disnerd? It's going to make it real desperate when I'm chasing him around the parks, trying to be his best friend, and y'all are already in his DMs. I don't appreciate it. It's not cute.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Now it's
Raph's already
weird.
sliding into
Look, a lot of people
Diana's
slide into my
DMs.
DMs,
It's fine.
and it's
Oh my
Maybe we can get
mostly
Nikki
it's
Russia
mostly
to
memes.
slide into your DMs.
Nikki Russia.
Nikki Russia.
Oh my god. Oh.
Tom, rein us back in. Rein us back in.
All right. Do we want to end with something good?
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Let's do it.
always.
I can,
All right. All right. So we have a big one here for me.
Uh-oh.
Running on Tap is back, guys.
Woo! Welcome back,
That's my
friends.
something
Yeah,
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
they've been back for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple
Yeah.
weeks, but
Yeah.
yeah.
They made a big announcement on their podcast,
go
so
check it out.
go check it
Yeah.
out. Jackie's doing a lot of reviews of non-alcoholic
Non-alcoholic
beers.
drinks.
If that
Yeah.
gives you any indication as to what their big announcement was.
It's a doozy of a review today, by the way. I will say that.
I love that.
I guess non-alcoholic beers are not as great as
She's actually mostly reviewing seltzers, but she
Okay.
dabbled in non-alcoholic beers. And
All right.
let's just say
Here's
it
the
was,
thing. beer's
not
not good
positive.
enough to drink without alcohol, and I like beer. Like it's not.
This is a fair point. Yeah, this is actually a fair point. Yeah.
Like
yeah, but like when I guess you're desperate to like
You're
want
like,
that
oh,
feeling
maybe I'll
of,
get
like,
that flavor. Yeah,
of like wanting to have something that you can't have at the moment.
yeah.
You know what?
So-
To each their own.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I have not actually listened to this last episode, but Michael texted immediately and was like, "You have to hear Jacqueline's review." I could not stop laughing.
They're so
Okay.
fun. I love them.
They really are. Yeah.
It was a very aggressive review. I'll just say.
There was a time when we just kept seeing him at races.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm hoping
Yep.
with the ones that we have in calendar that maybe our paths will cross.
Well, I wonder if they're doing the 10
Yeah.
miler. That's kind of localish.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Jacqueline, Kyle, are you doing the 10 miler?
The Annapolis 10 miler. Anyways, my something good is a science fiction movie. It's on Hulu. It's called Prey. It is the latest installment in the Predator franchise, and I absolutely loved it.
It's getting great reviews. I did not watch it.
Yeah, I want to see that. It's getting incredible reviews.
I mean, all of those movies, like, they just keep churning them out, and a lot of times it's stale and it's more of the same. Like, this is actually a fresh take on subject matter that came out, in the late 80s, early 90s. So, like, it was really good. Highly recommend it. It's called Prey. It's on Hulu. It's about the Predator.
And the cool thing about it is it immediately got released alongside of like the English version. There's like a Comanche dub of it that came out, so you could watch it
oh, that's awesome.
in Comanche, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's the Predator fighting Native Americans.
And everybody
Mhm.
cast in the movie is Native American. Like, they did it very well.
Nice.
So-
Yeah, I've heard like really good things. I can't wait to. I really want to check it out.
I have not started, but I started my rewatch. So season 3 of Never Have I Ever dropped this weekend.
I didn't realize it dropped.
Oh yeah, so I've started to watch
I just-
season 1 and 2 again because they're short. They're only like
I
30-minute
know.
episodes,
Yeah.
and there's only
Mhm.
10 or so in a season. So I'm going to
Yeah.
get through my rewatch, and then I'm going to start season 3. I'm so excited. Mindy was just on Colbert talking about it, and I cannot freaking wait. So
I should do a rewatch too. Maybe that should be part of my airplane
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Maybe I'll do that because I feel like it's also like they're so long between seasons that
Yes.
like you forget some of like because you that's the only thing about the binge thing
The binge
versus
thing
the
is
like weekly.
difficult.
When you binge and you're done with a show in like 2 days, then like trying to remember what happened like a year later.
Oh, it's impossible.
So
We keep wanting to
Yeah.
watch the new season of Umbrella Academy, but I refuse until we do a rewatch, and I can't bring myself to do a rewatch. I was like, I cannot remember what happened. Anything.
super fun. So she's doing something good for something she hasn't watched yet.
Yep.
I thought that we made that illegal.
Nope.
No,
we
I
just
don't
troll
want
each other
Oh,
for
you
it.
do.
There are no rules.
We watched on Hulu Only Murders in the Building,
Oh, finally, that was
which
our
came
something
out-
good in like
I-
October last year or something. Yeah.
which came out. Well, the new season's
Yeah.
out.
We haven't watched.
We
the new
haven't
season
watched the
yet,
new
but-
season.
Neither have
yet.
we.
But at the same time, my friend Melissa, who actually is on the list of people who run because of mental health or whatever, she has a podcast called the Amateur Detective Club.
Oh,
So in conjunction, I watched the binged Only Murders in the Building, which was fantastic.
great.
I don't know how we didn't end up watching it when it first came out because everyone was recommending it. It was just one of those things that fell to the bottom of the list
It's so
somehow
great.
along the way. But the acting in it is incredible. It's like nominated for like every award possible in comedy because everyone in it is just fantastic.
and Selena Gomez keeps up with those two.
Yes,
Like she's just as
insane.
good.
She's so good, and they did such a great job of like like when you have a young person and like old people, it might be like they make too much fun of him, or like like they poke too much, like it's
Yeah.
ageist, or like there's ageist jokes, like. But they did a really good job of not she makes fun of them in her own way and not being like mean, like
Yeah.
it's very like she's teaching them about like different things, and it's just like fun.
One of my
they bounce
favorite
off of each other
scenes
really well.
is when he goes to text her and he's like, "Greetings," but he can't figure out like what to use.
Yes.
And he's like, "I figured it out." And he says, "Aloha, Mabel."
Yes. It's just, and then Charles, like at the end, you can see like the progress he makes because he like goes to text somebody and he types out his whole name and then he like deletes his name because he realizes you don't need to sign your text. Like it's just really they were really
so
fun
great
together. Like they did a really good job. The acting's incredible. It's so funny. There was like the one episode, The Boy in 6B, which was hands down some of the best television I've ever seen in my life.
It's so great.
I highly recommend it. But again, part of it was I also then listened to the Amateur Detective Club, which I also highly recommend. They're on hiatus right now, but they did a recap of the whole thing. And then they also do a lot of like with Agatha Christie, and they do recaps of our favorite Jessica Fletcher. They do a lot of like recaps of different they're amateur detectives, so they recap a lot of like detective shows.
So it's a good opportunity to go
fun.
Back and binge right now if they're on hiatus.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Super fun.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys watched it. It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
good.
and their podcast made me laugh out loud the whole time in my car too, as I was binging that because they're really funny as well. So
yay!
Well, we love to support a podcast.
Yeah.
Check the show notes for all the podcasts we mentioned this episode. There was like 6 of them, I think.
Oh yeah, because you mentioned gags earlier.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So
somehow I'm gonna have to remember this when it comes time to write
the
the show notes.
Yeah. Well, rise and run.
Wish me luck.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for continuing to listen. Keep sharing the show, talking to us on social media. You guys are all amazing, and we really appreciate you. And I will leave you all with a quote from the incomparable Olivia Newton-John,
R.I.P.
who reminds us that we all have a finite amount of time on this planet, and we just need to be grateful for that.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I can't even make fun of that because it's all
You can't make fun of it.
R.I.P. I know.
Well,
all right.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Everyone have a great day, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Also, this isn't for the podcast, but it smells like legit farts in here. Like, is that you or the dogs? It smells so bad.
It's me.
Before you move on to this next one, why does it say Nikki Russia?
I have no idea.
Is it a Russian bot?
No.
No, but it's Nikki, like, runs...
That must
Runs
have been
fit.
a autocorrect.
It's Nikki runs fit.
That's amazing.
Okay, Nikki Russia.
That's my fun.
Good thing you caught me.
I just didn't want Diana to read that.
Who is that? She would have been listening like, what in the hell?
Nikki runs fit, right?
Not Nikki Russia.
Not Nikki
Oh
Russia.
my God.
Well,
I'm gonna tell her that.
I love autocorrect
Hello.
so much.
I have to screenshot that and send that to her.